Hi, it's Julia Lundstrom, your neuroscience and brain health educator and the owner of Simple Smart Science. So on today's 10-minute memory hack, I want to tell you about the foods that the people that live the longest eat. Now I'm referring to the 5 blue zones around the world. So we're going to go through exactly what's in their diet, and maybe you consider changing yours to live a long, happy life. What are the 5 blue zones? Well, they were coined by Dan Buettner in the 70s. And so far that we've really only found 5 areas on Earth with these hot spots of longevity where the average person lives to more than 100. And what Dan has done is studied his whole career, 40, 50 years now, on what these people are doing in order to live long and healthy lives. These are people that are not in hospitals living to 100. These are people that are out building fences, like litter fences around their yard at 105 years old, that are meeting every day in their communities. So I want to talk to you about what these people are eating. So first of all, the 5 blue zones around the earth. Let's talk about them. It's Okinawa, Japan. What do they eat there? They eat a lot of rice. That's the main staple in their diet. They do eat a lot of fish. We have Greece. Well, we all have heard of the Mediterranean diet, so we'll go through in detail a little bit about what they eat, but we know they eat heart-healthy olive oil. They do drink red wine. They also have a lot of really rich, olives that are really rich in the healthy fats. Then we have Nakoya. They eat a lot of beans and lentils. Loma Linda, California. Now this one's really interesting because why this tiny little town in the middle of California? It's actually a religious community. It's the Seventh-day Adventists. And they all follow the exact same diet based upon their religious beliefs. What do they all have in common with their diets? They all eat very low amounts, and in some cases, 0 of meat. Now, I'm not going to go into the vegetarian versus vegan versus meat eater. I am a meat eater. I still eat meat. But one of the things that I did this year for myself is I cut back on my meat intake. I'm about 80% plant-based and vegetarian now. So if you look at these cultures, it's not that they don't eat meat. It's that they didn't have it available to them, and still don't a lot of times, to where they're not eating meat for every single meal like we do in America. I mean, there is no doubt about it. We are eating too much meat. We're eating too much protein. So when you look at, you're having eggs and bacon for breakfast, you're having your sausage, you're having, chicken or turkey sandwich for lunch, and then you go to dinner and you have steak or roasted chicken. You're having meat 3 times a day, a lot of people. This is completely unnecessary and completely not historically what we have eaten, and I think it's very hard on our bodies. So my brother, bless his soul, it runs rampant in our family as a heart attack, and my brother's had 2 by the time he was 48, and my dad had the same in his 40s. My uncle had the same. Another uncle of mine passed away. My grandpa, it's just rampant in our family, especially in the men. And so he went to a 3-month intensive cardio rehab program just this past year. And every single study and every single doctor said to go more plant-based in your diet. So he actually went 100% vegetarian. Now, I believe that we do need animal products in your diet. When you look at your brain health, one of the most important key vitamins you can give yourself is B12. And that is only found in meat and animal products. But it is found in eggs. So if you want to cut out all meat and just have eggs, that's fine too. But it is so key to your brain health. So many doctors don't believe in supplementation, but as we get older, our bodies don't absorb B12 as much. And so I don't know a single doctor to elderly that doesn't recommend that they take vitamin B12. That's how, even though doctors don't believe in supplementation, they will tell their elderly patients to take vitamin B12. So I know that animal products are very important for our body, but not in the quantity we eat. So these communities, these blue zones around the world, do not eat that much meat. They eat it on occasion. They eat it, I'm basically having it maybe once a week, twice a week right now, and that's about 80-90% of my diet is plant-based. It makes me feel so much better. It's giving me so much more energy energy. I'm loving it, and it's not hard to do. So let's talk about what they do eat in these other areas. So I already talked about rice. Beans is a huge one. Every single one of these communities eat a lot of beans. So you may need your Beano around, but once your body gets used to the new diet, it will adjust and you won't have so much bloating and gas that comes with the beans. And they do eat whole grain breads. Bread is a staple in their diets. Pasta is even a staple in the Greek and the Sardinia towns. They eat a lot of pasta, and it's whole grain pasta. Our bodies use grains to help us digest. It's just possibly the type of grains that we're eating that aren't so good. Plus, so many foods that have gluten in them also have a ton of sugar in them. Your breads, your treats, your sweets, things like that. I think it's actually cutting out the sugar that's helping people more than anything. But having said that, they do eat whole grain breads, those dark breads where you can actually see the little grains in them, incredibly healthy for you. And they eat a lot of really healthy fats like your olive oil. So my 3 staples when I cook: olive oil, salt, and pepper. Everything I cook basically goes with those 3 things. And I can't tell you, I'll do this huge roasted vegetable plate with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and everyone loves it, and everyone says, oh, how'd you cook this so good? That's all it is. Olive oil, salt, and pepper. If I bake some chicken, olive oil, salt, and pepper. Sometimes I'll use different spices, but for the most part, my diet and everything I cook is olive oil, salt, and pepper. And the olive oil is so good. We do need fat. So if you go 100% vegetarian, you have to get that fat in you. You have to get that unsaturated fat in you, because our brains are made up of 70% fat. We need fat in our body. You need to eat those avocados. Incredibly healthy for you. They're antioxidant rich foods like the purple yams you can get. Oh, those are amazing for you. Sweet potatoes or blueberries, things like that are very, very high in antioxidants. Green tea, very good for you. These are all tea drinking communities. Some of them are alcohol free. Some of them will drink on occasion. And again, it's on occasion. It's not going out every single night and having 2 or 3 glasses of wine. So that was another thing I cut back on this year, was how often I drink red wine, because I love my red wine. So now I'm just doing, 1 night or 2 nights a week, I'll have a glass or 2 of wine, and that's pretty much it. I can't tell you the differences in my body, the differences in my energy that it's made with all these cutbacks and adding in the antioxidant rich foods. So take it for what you will. Again, I'm not going to argue about the different diets out there and the keto diets and losing weight. That's a whole different subject. I'm talking about to live to 100 and beyond with incredibly good cognitive health. Diet plays an important role. What we eat today will feel the differences decades later. So maybe just think a little bit about cutting out some of that meat that you eat. Maybe instead of eating it 3 times a day, go down to 2 or 1. Things like that. Just take these steps and see what you can do for yourself. Add in some beans into your diet, or maybe add back in those really good grains. All right, so with that, if you like my video series, please share, please subscribe. You'll find the subscribe button down below so you can get these. I do 10-minute memory hacks once a week, so share with your friends and go ahead and subscribe. Thank you.